Imagine a rock. Its skin is rough, dirty, and weathered. It looks like something you will find on the side of a dusty road or at a construction site. It has no shine, no bright colors, and no obvious beauty. To most people, it is worth nothing. But in a crowded market on the border of China and Myanmar, this exact rock was just sold for $80,000. The man who brought it is standing perfectly still. He is sweating even though the room is cool. He is watching a large machine with a very sharp blade. As the machine starts, it makes a loud screaming noise. In this world, there is a famous saying, "One cut to heaven, one cut to hell." This is not a joke. It is the absolute truth of Jade Gambling. If the inside of this rock is a bright, clear, vibrant green, the man will become a millionaire in minutes. If the inside is just grey stone, filled with impurity or ruined by cracks, his $80,000 are gone forever. There are no refunds here. There is only the cut. This is the ultimate blind box. It is a world where logic often fails, and greed is the only thing that drives people forward. To understand why people would pay so much for a dirty rock, we have to travel to the source. Almost all of the world's best jadeite come from one place, northern Myanmar, specifically a region called Pagam. This is not a clean, organized, or safe place. It is a lunar landscape of giant holes in the ground and massive mountain of unstable mud. For hundreds of years, people have dug into this earth looking for jadeite. Jadeite is an incredibly tough mineral. It is beautiful when it is polished, but in the ground, it is protected by a thick, crusty skin caused by thousands of years of weathering. You simply cannot tell what is inside just by looking at the outside. The life of a jade miner is a desperate struggle. Thousands of workers, often called pickers, spend their days climbing over piles of waste rock left behind by big mining companies. They hope to find one small piece that was missed. It is dangerous work. Landslides happen often, and many workers are buried under tons of mud every year. But the people who found the rock are rarely the ones who get rich. The real money is made by the people who sell the hope of what is inside. But here's the question. Why can't we just scan the rock to see if there's green jade inside with X-ray machine? The answer is a strange fact of nature. Valuable green jadeite is made of almost the same chemical stuff as the worthless grey stone surrounding it. They have the same density. To an X-ray machine or an ultrasound, the green part and the grey part look exactly the same. Science is essentially blind when it comes to jade. Because machines do not work, buyers have to rely on very simple tools. The most important tool is a high-powered flashlight. They press the light directly against the skin of the rock, looking for translucency. If the light glows with a deep liquid green, it means there might be color inside. But even this is a guess. Some rocks have a python band, a long thin line on the skin that looks like snake scales. Experts believe these lines show where the color flows inside. But nature is a trickster. Sometimes the green is only on the very surface, like a thin coat of paint. This is called thin-skinned jade, and it is the nightmare of every gambler. You buy a rock thinking it is solid green, but after the cut, you found nothing but worthless grey stone behind a thin layer of color. But why do people take this risk? In the world of luxury, gold and diamonds usually take the spotlight, but in Asian cultures, jadeite sit even higher on the throne. Often known as the Stone of Heaven, it has been more than just a decoration for thousands of years. It is a symbol of protection, status, and virtue. There is a famous old saying, "Gold has a price, but jade is priceless." Unlike the diamond, which follows a strict chart for weight and clarity, every piece of jadeite is a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. It is valued for its soul, a mysterious glowing quality that makes the stone look like it is filled with liquid. What makes jadeite truly worthy comes down to three things: color, transparency, and texture. The most expensive variety is imperial green. It is a vibrant deep green that is almost perfectly clear, like a drop of emerald water frozen in time. This is known as the watery quality. However, this incredible value only applies to Type A jade. This is jade that is 100% natural. Type B or Type C jade may also look beautiful, but they have been bleached or dyed in a lab, causing them to lose almost all their investment value. When we talk about the ceiling of jadeite's value, we are entering the world of the super rich. At international auctions, high-end jadeite sell for prices that make large diamonds look affordable. The most famous example is the Hutton Tiffany necklace. In 2014, it sold for over $27 million. It was made of 27 perfect green beads, meaning each individual bead was worth about $1 million. Single pieces like bangles can also reach incredible heights. Because the bangle must be carved from one solid, clean part of a raw rock, it is very difficult to find a rock large enough to make one. A perfect translucent green bangle can easily sell for $7 or $8 million. Ultimately, the value is driven by extreme scarcity. As the supply in Myanmar runs out, the price ceiling continues to rise, making a stone no bigger than a grape worth more than a luxury mansion. In the past, you had to be in the market to gamble. You had to touch the stone yourself. But today, the game has moved to the internet. Now, millions of people can gamble on their phones through live streaming apps. A host stands in a brightly lit room with hundreds of rocks. They shout into the camera, acting very excited. They use special filters on the camera to make the green look much brighter than it really is. These live streams are designed to create FOMO, the fear of missing out. They often have shields, people who are paid to pretend to be buyers. These people bid on the rocks to drive the price up. An average person sitting at home sees the excitement and thinks, maybe I can get rich too. They spend their savings on a rock they have never touched based on the words of a stranger. When the rock is finally cut on camera and turns out to be worthless, the host adds sad for a moment and then simply pick up the next stone. The buyer loses everything, but the live stream never stops. The most dangerous part of jade gambling is that it makes you feel smart. People spend years reading books about rocks and studying stone skin. They think they are learning a skill. They think they can read the rock. But the truth is, the people who sell the rock know much more than the people who buy them. The miners and wholesalers are the real experts. Before a rock is put up for sale as a gamble, it has been checked by people who have lived their whole lives in the business. If a rock had high chance of being full of expensive green jade, the wholesaler would cut it themselves and sell the jade for millions. When you see a rock for sale as a gamble, it is often because the experts have already decided it probably isn't very good. They are selling the risk to you because they don't want to take it themselves. Jade is a beautiful stone, representing virtue and luck. But the world behind it is built on greed and desperation. For every person who makes a fortune in a viral video, there are thousands who lose their homes and their families' futures. In the end, jade gambling tells us a lot about ourselves. It shows how much we want to believe in miracles. We want to believe that a dirty rock can hold a secret fortune, and that we are the ones who can see what others cannot. But nature does not care about our hopes. The rock is just a rock. It has been sitting in the earth for millions of years, indifferent to the human who fight over it. Thank you for watching.